Dr. Alex Rivera had always believed that meeting aliens would be the biggest moment of his career. What he never expected was how awkward it would be. Standing in the pristine white conference room at the Global Space Research Center, Alex adjusted. His tie for the fifth time in 10 minutes, his palms were sweaty, and his heart was racing like he was about to give a presentation to his high school crush, which, in a weird way, wasn't too far from the truth. The Viridians had made contact with Earth exactly 6 months ago, not with dramatic spaceships or threatening messages, but with a simple radio transmission that basically said, "Hello, we're your neighbors. Can we talk?" It was the most polite alien invasion that never happened. Now Alex, a 32-year-old scientist who specialized in studying how different species communicate, was about to meet one of them face to face. His job was simple: figure out how to talk to beings from another world without causing an intergalactic incident. The door slid open with a soft hiss, and Alex forgot how to breathe. She walked in like she owned the place, which technically she kind of did. The Viridian delegation had been given full access to the research facility, and this particular alien made it clear she wasn't impressed by human architecture. She was tall, maybe 6.5 feet, with skin that looked like liquid, silver under the fluorescent lights. Her features were similar to humans, but more elegant, like someone had taken a regular person and refined them into a work of art. Her hair, if you could call it that, seemed to move on its own, flowing like water even when she stood perfectly still. But what caught Alex's attention immediately was her skin. It wasn't just silver anymore. As she looked at him, it began to shift to a warm, golden color that reminded him of honey and sunlight. "You must be Dr. Rivera," she said, and her voice had this musical quality that made Alex think of wind chimes. "I am designated as Kiran 9, though your language makes our naming system sound mechanical. I will be your primary contact for this cultural exchange program." Alex opened his mouth to respond with the professional greeting he practiced, but what came out was, "Your skin is changing colors." Kiran 9 tilted her head, and her skin shifted to a slightly deeper gold. "Yes. My species displays emotional states through chromatic variations in our dermal layer. Currently, I am experiencing what your research indicates you call curiosity. And interest, Alex managed to croak out, "physical attraction," she said as casually as someone might comment on the weather. "Your facial structure is aesthetically pleasing by both human and Viridian standards. Your scent indicates good health. My body is responding accordingly." Alex felt his face turn red. In his years of scientific training, nobody had prepared him for an alien to basically say she found him attractive. Within the first 30 seconds of meeting, Dr. Peterson, the project director, cleared his throat from the corner of the room. "Perhaps we should begin with the formal introductions and mission briefing." Kiran 9 turned to Peterson, and Alex noticed her skin shifted to a cooler, more neutral tone. "Of course, though I should mention that Dr. Rivera's elevated heart rate and increased skin temperature suggest he is experiencing similar physiological responses to my presence." Alex wanted to disappear into the floor. "Can you tell all that just by looking at me?" "Yes. My species evolved with enhanced sensory capabilities. We can detect pheromones, minute changes in body temperature, heart rate variations, and micro-expressions that indicate emotional states. It is quite useful for communication. That must make dating complicated." Alex muttered before he could stop himself. Kiran 9's skin brightened again. "Dating? You mean the human mating ritual assessment process. We do not require such procedures. When attraction is mutual and compatible, we simply acknowledge it and proceed accordingly." Dr. Peterson stepped forward quickly. "Right, well, let's focus on the work aspects of this partnership. Kiran 9, your people have some unique traits that we're hoping to understand better." "You mean our inability to produce false statements?" Kiran 9 said. "Yes, this appears to fascinate your species greatly. We find your capacity for deception equally intriguing, though somewhat disturbing." Alex leaned forward, his scientific curiosity overriding his embarrassment. "It's really true? You physically cannot lie, correct? Our neural pathways do not permit the creation of intentionally false information. when we speak. We can only express what we believe to be accurate based on our knowledge and observations. But what if you're wrong about something? What if you think something is true but it isn't? Chiron 9 considered this. We can be mistaken, certainly, but we cannot knowingly speak falsehoods. The distinction is important. Alex found himself staring at her, fascinated. So right now, when you said you were attracted to me, I was stating a biological fact. My body is producing hormones typically associated with mate selection interest. My skin temperature has increased by 2.3 degrees since entering this room. My pupils have dilated slightly. These are measurable, observable phenomena. Wow, Alex breathed. That's incredibly direct. Is this problematic for you? Chiron 9 asked, and Alex could swear he heard concern in her voice. I have studied human social customs, but I may be misunderstanding appropriate interaction protocols. No, it's not problematic, Alex said quickly. It's just different. Humans spend a lot of time trying to figure out what other people really think or feel. We play games, drop hints, try to read between the lines. You just say it. This seems inefficient, Chiron 9 observed. Why would you not simply communicate your true intentions and desires? Dr. Peterson chuckled. That's a question philosophers have been asking for centuries. Over the next hour, as they went through the formal mission briefings and protocols, Alex found himself completely absorbed by Chiron 9. Every question she asked was direct and thoughtful. Every observation she made was honest and often surprisingly insightful. Your research methodology is solid but lacks creative approaches, she told him while reviewing his work on interspecies communication. You rely heavily on established patterns rather than exploring innovative possibilities. Instead of feeling insulted, Alex found himself nodding. You're right, I tend to play it safe. Safety has its place. But discovery requires risk, Chiron 9 said. I find your cautious nature endearing, though I believe you have greater potential than you demonstrate. You can tell all that from reading my research papers, that, and observing your behavior. You adjusted your appearance multiple times before I arrived, indicating anxiety about first impressions. You apologize frequently for normal conversational patterns. You seek approval from authority figures even when unnecessary. Her skin shifted to a warmer tone again. Yet you ask thoughtful questions and show genuine interest and understanding, rather than just collecting data. This suggests intelligence and empathy. Alex felt like he was being dissected by the world's kindest scientist. Is this how all Viridians communicate? Just complete honesty about everything? Is there another way? Chiron 9 asked, seeming genuinely puzzled. Well, yeah, humans. We soften things. We might say that's interesting when we mean that's stupid. We say I'm fine when we're upset. We tell people what we think they want to hear. Chiron 9's skin shifted to a deeper, more thoughtful color. This seems exhausting. How do you ever know what anyone truly means? Most of the time, we don't, Alex admitted. We guess, we hope, we get it wrong a lot. And yet you form meaningful relationships despite this communication barrier? Alex thought about his ex-girlfriend, who had spent months saying everything was fine before finally admitting she was miserable. He thought about his parents, who still asked if he was seeing anyone special instead of just asking if he was happy. He thought about himself, always wondering if people actually enjoyed his company or were just being polite. Sometimes, he said, when we're lucky, Ki or A9 studied him with those large, expressive eyes. I think I would like to learn more about human relationship formation. Perhaps you could teach me, and I could share Viridian approaches with you, like a cultural exchange within the cultural exchange. Precisely. Her skin glowed brighter. I find the prospect of understanding you better quite appealing. As the meeting wrapped up and they scheduled their next session, Alex realized something had shifted. What started as a professional assignment had become something much more personal. He was dealing with someone who couldn't lie, couldn't hide her feelings, couldn't pretend to be anything other than exactly what she was, and for the first time in his life, Alex was talking to someone who might actually mean every single thing. She said to him, walking back to his office. Alex caught his reflection in a window and realized he was smiling. For once, he knew exactly where he stood with someone. Kira 9 was interested in him, had told him so directly, and couldn't possibly be lying about it. The question was, what was he going to do about it? 3 weeks into working with Kira 9, Alex thought he was getting used to her complete honesty. He was wrong. Your shirt doesn't suit your complexion, she announced as he walked into their shared research lab that Tuesday morning. Her skin had shifted to that warm golden color again, which Alex had learned meant she was happy to see him. Good morning to you too, Alex said, setting down his coffee. What's wrong with my shirt? The blue is too muted for your skin tone. It makes you appear tired. Also, you missed a small stain near the third button. Kira 9 examined him like he was a scientific specimen. However, your hair looks particularly good today. Did you use a different product? Alex unconsciously ran his hand through his hair. Yeah, new gel. It's an improvement. The previous one made your hair appear greasy by midday. Thanks for letting me know, Alex muttered, not sure if he was grateful or mortified. This had become their routine every morning. Kira 9 would observe him and share exactly what she thought. His posture was improving but still suggested lack of confidence. His research ideas were creative but needed better organization. His tendency to apologize for things that weren't his fault was endearing, but professionally limiting. At first, Alex had been defensive, but gradually, he realized something amazing. Kira 9 was never cruel, just honest. When she criticized something, it was because she thought he could do better. When she complimented him, he knew she actually meant it. I've been wondering about something, Alex said, pulling up his computer files. Yesterday you told me my presentation skills needed work. Today you're saying my hair looks good. How do you decide what to comment on? Kira 9's skin shifted to a thoughtful purple shade. I comment on things I notice that seem relevant to your well-being or our work together. Your appearance affects how others perceive you, which impacts your professional success. Your presentation skills directly relate to our mission objectives. But don't you ever just keep thoughts to yourself. Why would I, if I observe something that could be helpful? Sharing it seems logical. Alex leaned back in his chair. Because sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes people don't want to hear what you really think. Do you prefer that I not share my observations with you? The question hung in the air. Alex thought about it seriously. In the past 3 weeks, Kira 9's honest feedback had helped him improve his posture, upgrade his wardrobe, and reorganize his research methods. Her direct communication style had made him more confident, not less. No, he said finally. I like that you tell me the truth. It's just different. Kira 9's skin brightened. Good, because I have more observations to share. Hit me. You drink too much caffeine. Your hands shake slightly after your third cup of coffee. Also, you eat lunch too quickly, which suggests you're either very hungry or stressed about time management. Alex looked down at his half-finished sandwich. Both, probably. I find your eating habits concerning because I care about your health. Kira 9 said matter-of-factly. Your well-being has become important to me. There it was again. The casual, direct way she talked about feelings that would take humans months to admit to each other. Kira 9, Alex said carefully. Can I ask you something personal? All questions are personal in some way. Proceed. How do you feel about me? I mean, specifically? Her skin shifted through several colors before settling on a deep, warm gold. I experience elevated pleasure in your company. Your scent is appealing to my sensory systems. I think about you during rest periods when I should be focusing on other matters. My body temperature increases when you enter a room. I feel protective of your emotional state and invested in your success. Alex's heart started beating faster. In human terms, what would that mean? I believe you would call it romantic attraction with elements of deep affection. Though I should note that these feelings have developed beyond my initial physical interest. Beyond, initially, I was attracted to your appearance and pheromone signature. Now I find myself drawn to your thought processes, your curiosity, your kindness toward others, and your willingness to improve yourself. She paused, studying his face. Is this information problematic for you? Alex felt like he was standing at the edge of a cliff. No, it's not problematic. It's just intense. Human emotional expression seems needlessly complicated. Kieran 9 observed, you appear to be experiencing similar physiological responses to my presence. Yet you seem distressed by my direct communication about it. It's not that simple for humans. We usually take time to figure out our feelings. We drop hints. We test the waters. We wait to see if the other person feels the same way. But I have already told you how I feel, and your body language clearly indicates reciprocal interest. What purpose does additional waiting serve? Alex laughed, but it came out shaky. You make it sound so logical. Emotion can be logical. I am attracted to you. You appear attracted to me. We enjoy each other's company. We work well together. These are facts, not uncertainties requiring extensive analysis. But what if you change your mind? What if you decide you don't like me anymore? Kieran 9's skin shifted to a deeper, more serious tone. That is possible, though unlikely given the consistency of my responses to you over the past 3 weeks. However, the possibility of future change does not negate current reality. Alex stared at her. You're right, that's actually really wise. I find your tendency to worry about hypothetical problems endearing, but inefficient, Kieran 9 said. You spend significant mental energy on scenarios that may never occur. It's called anxiety. Most humans have it. This seems like a significant design flaw in your species. Despite everything, Alex burst out laughing. You're not wrong. Kieran 9's skin brightened considerably. I enjoy making you laugh. Your facial expression becomes much more attractive when you're happy. See, there you go again, Alex said, still grinning. Just complete honesty about everything. Would you prefer I pretend not to notice things I observe? No, Alex said, surprising himself with how quickly he answered. I wouldn't. It's refreshing. Actually, I always know exactly where I stand with you. This is correct. I find deception exhausting even to contemplate. Alex thought about his last relationship, where he'd spent months trying to decode mixed signals and wondering what his girlfriend really meant when she said things were fine. He thought about workplace conversations where people said one thing but meant another. He thought about family dinners where everyone pretended everything was perfect, while avoiding topics that might cause conflict. Can I tell you something? Alex said, always. I think I'm starting to prefer your way of communicating. It's scary sometimes, but it's also freeing. Kieran 9's skin took on a shade Alex had never seen before, almost like liquid sunlight. This makes me very happy to hear. I was concerned that my direct communication style might be damaging our relationship development. Our relationship development? Yes. I am interested in exploring a romantic partnership with you, assuming you share this interest. Alex felt his face get hot. Just like that, you just ask? How else would I determine your intentions? Humans usually, we dance around it for a while. We go on dates. We spend time together. We gradually get closer. We spend 8 hours per day together. We share meals. We discuss personal topics. We enjoy each other's company. Are these not dating activities? Alex considered this. You know what? You're absolutely right. So you are interested in romantic partnership development? Alex looked at her, sitting there with her skin glowing, like captured starlight, asking him the most direct question he'd ever been asked about his feelings. No games. No confusion. No wondering what she really meant. Yes, he said. I am very interested in romantic partnership development with you. Kieran 9's skin blazed so brightly that Alex had to blink. Excellent. This is a very satisfactory outcome, and for the first time in his life, Alex knew exactly what someone meant when they said they were happy. 2 months had passed since Alex and Kieran 9 had officially acknowledged their feelings for each other. What started as a professional partnership had grown into something Alex had never experienced before, a relationship built on complete honesty. Every morning, Kieran 9's skin would shift to that warm golden color the moment she saw him. Every evening, she would tell him exactly how her day went, what she thought about their work, and how much she looked forward to seeing him again. There were no games, no mixed signals. no wondering what she really meant. It should have been perfect, and for a while, it was. I need to discuss something important with you, Kira said one Tuesday afternoon. They were alone in the lab, reviewing translation protocols, when her skin suddenly shifted to a deep, troubled blue. Alex looked up from his computer. What's wrong? You look worried. Worried is an accurate assessment. I have been ordered to share information with you that I find disturbing. Alex felt his stomach drop. What kind of information? Kira was quiet for a long moment, her skin cycling through colors Alex had learned to recognize as internal conflict. Finally, she settled on a resigned gray. My assignment to this cultural exchange program was not random. The Viridian Council specifically chose me for this mission because psychological profiles suggested I would be most likely to form an emotional attachment to a human subject. A human subject, Alex repeated slowly. You? The council believed that developing a romantic relationship with you would provide valuable intelligence about human emotional vulnerabilities and decision-making processes under the influence of attachment. Alex felt like someone had punched him in the chest. So this whole thing, thus. It was planned. The initial parameters were planned. Yes, my instructions were to gain your trust, establish emotional intimacy, and observe how humans behave when they believe themselves to be in love. Alex pushed his chair back from the desk, needing distance. And you're telling me this why? Did you get all the data you needed? Kira's skin shifted to a deep, pain purple. I am telling you because my feelings for you have become genuine and are no longer aligned with my mission objectives. The council considers this a significant failure. Your feelings became genuine. Alex's voice was sharper than he intended. What does that even mean? Initially, my interactions with you were calculated to achieve mission goals. I analyzed your responses and modified my behavior to increase your attachment to me. But somewhere in the process, my own neurochemistry began responding authentically to your presence. Alex stood up and walked to the window, staring out at the research facility's gardens without really seeing them. So you started out lying to me, but then you fell for me for real. Is that what you're saying? I never lied to you. My species cannot lie. But I manipulated the truth. I emphasized aspects of my personality that would appeal to you while downplaying others. I timed my emotional displays for maximum impact. I studied your behavioral patterns to optimize my responses. That sounds like lying with extra steps. Alex said bitterly. You are correct, and I apologize. Though we cannot speak falsehoods, we can still engage in deceptive behavior through selective truth-telling and emotional manipulation. Alex turned back to face her. How do I know you're not manipulating me right now? How do I know this confession isn't part of some bigger plan? Kira's skin went completely white, a color Alex had only seen once before when she was experiencing intense pain. You cannot know with certainty. This is the problem with deception. Once trust is broken, it becomes nearly impossible to rebuild. Great. So what am I supposed to do with this information? I don't know. I have never been in this situation before. My people value honesty above all else. But I have discovered that absolute honesty can be as harmful as deception when it comes. Too late. Alex sank back into his chair, feeling exhausted. Why are you telling me this now? Why not just continue with whatever you were doing? Because the council has decided my emotional attachment to you compromises the mission. They are sending a replacement who will be more focused. I am to be recalled to our homeworld within the week. They're taking you away. Yes, and my replacement has been instructed to continue the intelligence gathering using more direct methods. Methods that may not prioritize your well-being. Alex felt a surge of anger. So your people see us as what? Lab rats? Something to study and manipulate? Some do. Yes, just as some humans view us as potential resources to exploit or threats to contain. Both our governments are using this cultural exchange for strategic advantage. What do you mean? Both governments. Kira's skin shifted to a darker, more serious tone. Your human officials have also been less than truthful about their intentions. They hope to learn about Viridian technology and defensive capabilities through this program. You were chosen for this assignment partly because psychological profiles suggested you would be susceptible to forming emotional attachments. That could be leverage for information gathering. Alex stared at her. Are you serious? They think I'd betray your secrets because I have feelings for you. Would you not? The question hung in the air between them. Alex thought about it honestly. If Kieran asked him to share Viridian technology that could help humanity, would he do it? If she needed information about human military capabilities to protect her people, would he provide it? I don't know. He admitted, maybe, if I thought it would help you. This is why both our governments consider emotional attachments between species to be dangerous. Love makes people unpredictable. Alex looked at her, really looked at her. Her skin was cycling through multiple colors, pain, regret, fear, and underneath it all, that warm gold that meant she cared about him. Do you love me? He asked quietly. Yes, I love you in ways that my people would consider irrational and potentially treasonous. I love you enough to risk exile from my own species by telling you the truth about this mission. And I love you too, Alex said, surprising himself with how easily the words came. Even knowing all this, even knowing how it started, I still love you. This creates a significant problem for both of us. Yeah, it does. Alex was quiet for a moment. What happens if you go back to your homeworld? I will likely face punishment for mission failure, possibly exile from Viridian society, definitely separation from you, and if you stay, I become a traitor to my own species, and you become complicit in harboring someone your government will consider a security risk. Alex rubbed his forehead, feeling a headache coming on. So basically, we're screwed either way. That appears to be an accurate assessment. They sat in silence for several minutes, both lost in thought. Finally, Alex spoke. Can I ask you something? And I need you to be completely honest, not strategically honest, but actually honest. Yes, when you look at me right now, what do you feel? Kieran's skin shifted through several colors before settling on the brightest gold Alex had ever seen. I feel love, not the calculated attraction I was trained to simulate, but genuine affection for who you are as a person. I feel protective of your happiness. I feel fear at the thought of losing you. I feel guilt for the deception that brought us together. And I feel hope that somehow we can find a way through this. Alex nodded slowly. That's exactly how I feel too. So what do we do? Alex looked at her. This alien woman who had taught him what it meant to love someone who couldn't lie to him, even when the truth was painful. I don't know yet, he said. But I know I'm not ready to give up on us. Kieran's skin blazed so bright. It was almost blinding. Neither am I, and in that moment, Alex realized that loving someone who couldn't lie didn't make things simpler. It just made the complicated parts impossible to ignore. The next 3 days were the most stressful of Alex's life. Kieran's recall orders had been confirmed, and her replacement was already en route to Earth. Worse, Alex could see the emotional toll the situation was taking on her. I received another communication from the council today, Kieran said as they sat in their usual corner of the research facility's cafeteria. Her skin had been a dull gray all morning, a color Alex had learned meant she was deeply troubled. What did they say? Alex asked, though he wasn't sure he wanted to know. They're disappointed in my performance. They consider my emotional attachment to you a contamination of my mission objectives. Her skin darkened. The word they used translates roughly to corrupted. Alex felt anger rise in his chest. Corrupted, because you developed real feelings. In Viridian society, individual desires are expected to align with collective good. My choice to prioritize our relationship over mission success is seen as a fundamental character flaw. That's ridiculous. You're not a machine. You're allowed to have feelings. Kieran looked at him with those large, expressive eyes. Am I? My people sent me here with a specific purpose. I have failed that purpose because I fell in love. From their perspective, I have betrayed my entire species for one human. Alex reached across the table and took her hand. Her skin was cooler than usual, another sign of stress. Do you regret it? Falling in love with me? No, she said immediately, her skin warming slightly at his touch. But I understand why my people see it as a betrayal. Love makes us selfish. It makes us put one person's happiness above the needs of many. Maybe that's not always a bad thing, Alex said. Before Kira 9 could respond, Dr. Peterson approached their table. His expression was grim. Alex, I need to speak with you. Privately. Alex's stomach dropped. What's wrong? Conference room B now. Alex squeezed Kira 9's hand. I'll be right back. But as he followed Dr. Peterson down the hallway, Alex had a sinking feeling that nothing would be the same after this conversation. Conference room B was full of people Alex recognized, but had hoped never to see together. Dr. Peterson, director, Williams from the space program, and to people in dark suits who screamed government intelligence. Sit down, Alex, Dr. Peterson said. What's this about? One of the suited men leaned forward. Dr. Rivera, we understand you've developed a personal relationship with the Viridian liaison. Her name is Kira 9, Alex said defensively. We're aware. We're also aware that she shared classified information about Viridian mission objectives with you. Alex felt his mouth go dry. How do you know that? We monitor all communications in this facility, the other suited man said, including private conversations. We know she told you about the intelligence gathering aspects of her mission. You've been spying on us. We've been protecting national security, Director Williams said. And right now, that security is compromised. How? Dr. Peterson pulled out a tablet and slid it across the table. Because your girlfriend isn't the only one who's been less than honest about their mission objectives. Alex looked at the screen. It was a classified briefing document dated 6 months ago, just after first contact with the Viridians. As he read, his blood ran cold. The document outlined Operation Deep Dive, a program designed to exploit the Viridian inability to lie for intelligence gathering. Alex's name was listed as primary asset, with detailed psychological profiles explaining why he was chosen for the assignment. You set me up, Alex said quietly. We placed you in a position to serve your country, the first suited man said. Just like the Viridians placed their agent in a position to serve theirs. She's not an agent. She's a person who fell in love. A person whose government is planning to recall her because she's compromised, Director Williams said. Do you know what that means for you? Alex shook his head, though he was starting to get a terrible idea. It means you're no longer useful as an intelligence asset, Dr. Peterson said. But you are a security risk. You have detailed knowledge of Viridian physiology, psychology, and cultural practices, knowledge that could be valuable to foreign governments. Are you threatening me? We're explaining your situation, the second suited man said. You're in love with someone who's about to be declared a traitor by her own people. Someone who has shared classified information with you. Someone who, according to our intelligence, may be planning to defect rather than return to her homeworld. Alex's heart jumped. Defect? She never said anything about defecting. According to our behavioral analysis, the probability is high. Viridians who develop strong emotional attachments have been known to choose exile rather than separation from their bonded partners. You're making this up. Dr. Peterson activated the tablet screen again. This is surveillance footage from yesterday. The video showed Kira 9 in her quarters, speaking in her native language to what appeared to be a communication device. Subtitles appeared on the screen. I cannot return. My attachment to the human Alex has become too strong. I request asylum and protection for both myself and him. Alex stared at the screen. She was asking for asylum for both of us without consulting you. Director Williams pointed out. She made a unilateral decision that affects your life, your career, and your legal status. What do you mean, my legal status? The first suited man opened a folder. Harboring a foreign agent who has requested asylum puts you in a very complicated position legally, especially when that agent has access to classified information about both human and Viridian technologies. Alex felt like the walls were closing in. What do you want from me? Your cooperation, Dr. Peterson said. Kira 9 trusts you completely. She tells you everything. We need you to continue that relationship and report back to us. You want me to spy on her. We want you to help us understand Viridian intentions and capabilities. Your relationship with her gives us unprecedented access to information about their society. And if I refuse, the suited men exchange glances. Then you'll be classified as a security risk yourself. Your clearance will be revoked, your career will be over, and you'll likely face federal charges for unauthorized sharing of classified information. Alex sat back in his chair, feeling numb. You're asking me to betray someone I love. We're asking you to serve your country, Director Williams said, the same way she was asked to serve hers. But she chose love over duty. She chose me. And look where it got her. The second suited man said, facing exile from her own people, possible criminal charges, and an uncertain future. Is that really what you want for yourself? Alex thought about Kira 9, sitting alone in the cafeteria, her skin gray with worry about a future that seemed increasingly hopeless. He thought about her honesty, her trust, the way she'd risked everything to tell him the truth about her mission. I need time to think, he said. You have until tomorrow morning, Dr. Peterson said. Kira 9's replacement arrives at noon. That's when she'll officially become a rogue agent, and when your legal status becomes complicated. Alex stood up on shaky legs. Can I go now? Of course. But Alex? Director Williams called after him. Remember that sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes you have to make choices based on what's practical, not what feels good. Walking back toward the cafeteria, Alex realized he was facing the same impossible choice Kira 9 had faced: loyalty to his people, or loyalty to the person he loved. The difference was, she had already made her choice. Now he had to make his. Alex didn't sleep that night. He sat in his apartment, staring at the ceiling, thinking about impossible choices and the price of love. By morning, he had made his decision. He found Kira 9 in the lab, packing her research materials into storage containers. Her skin was the dullest gray he'd ever seen, and she moved with the mechanical precision of someone trying not to feel anything. They told you, she said without looking up. It wasn't a question. About the asylum request? Yeah. Alex sat down across from her. Why didn't you tell me? Because I knew you would try to talk me out of it. Her skin shifted to a slightly warmer tone. And because I was not certain you would choose to stay with me if given the option. Kira 9. Look at me. She raised her eyes to meet his, and Alex saw fear there. Real, honest fear. I love you, he said. Whatever happens, whatever we decide to do, that's not going to change. Her skin brightened slightly. Even knowing that loving me has destroyed your career and possibly your freedom? Even knowing that your government wants you to spy on me, Kira 9 said matter-of-factly. They believe our relationship can be weaponized for intelligence gathering. Alex wasn't surprised she knew. How did you find out? Your behavioral patterns changed after your meeting yesterday. Increased stress indicators, elevated heart rate when looking at me. Micro-expressions suggesting internal conflict. It was not difficult to deduce. And you're okay with that? With them asking me to betray you? Kira 9 set down the container she was holding. I understand their reasoning, from their perspective. I am a foreign agent who has compromised a valuable asset. Their request for your cooperation is logical. But how do you feel about it? Terrified. She said simply, I am terrified that you will choose duty over love, as you have been trained to do. I am terrified that my honesty has put you in an impossible position, and I am terrified that either choice you make will cause you pain. Alex reached for her hands. What if there was a third option? What do you mean? Alex took a deep breath. What if we told everyone the truth, all of it? Everything our governments have been hiding, everything they've been planning, everything they've asked us to do. Kira 9's skin shifted to a puzzled blue. That would destroy both our careers and likely result in criminal charges for both of us, maybe. Or maybe it would force both sides to be honest about what this cultural exchange really is. Alex, you are suggesting we expose classified information from two different governments. The consequences would be severe, probably, but right now, we're caught between two groups of people who are using us as pawns in some kind of interplanetary chess game. What if we refuse to play? Kira 9 was quiet for a long moment. her skin cycling through colors Alex had learned to read as deep thought. "You are proposing we choose radical honesty over self-preservation," she said finally. "I'm proposing we choose us over them. Both of them. The risks are enormous. So is spending the rest of our lives wondering what would have happened if we'd been brave enough to fight for each other." Kieran-Nine's skin began to glow, starting dim, but growing brighter as she considered his words. "If we do this, there's no going back. We would be burning bridges with both our peoples. We'd also be building a bridge between us, a real one, based on truth instead of manipulation. You would risk everything for me, for us." Alex thought about his career, his reputation, his future. Then he thought about Kieran-Nine's honesty, her trust. The way she made him feel like the person he'd always wanted to be. "I already have risked everything," he said. "The moment I fell in love with you, everything else became secondary." Kieran-Nine's skin blazed so bright Alex had to squint. "I love you too. More than I thought possible. More than my people think wise. So we do this together. We do this together." 3 hours later, Alex and Kieran-Nine stood before a hastily assembled joint session of human and Viridian officials. The room was tense, filled with diplomats, scientists, and intelligence officers from both species. Dr. Peterson sat in the front row, his face grim. Director Williams looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. The Viridian delegation, led by Kieran-Nine's replacement, displayed various shades of disapproval. "Ladies and gentlemen," Alex began, his voice steadier than he felt. "We've asked for this meeting because both of our governments have been operating under false pretenses." He looked at Kieran-Nine, who nodded encouragingly. Her skin was a calm, determined gold. "This cultural exchange program was never about cultural exchange," Alex continued. "Both sides have been using it as a cover for intelligence-gathering operations." Murmurs erupted from both delegations. Director Williams started to stand, but Alex pressed on. "I was chosen for this assignment because psychological profiles suggested I would be susceptible to emotional manipulation. Kieran-Nine was chosen because her government believed she could use romantic attachment as a tool for gathering intelligence about human weaknesses." "Dr. Rivera," Dr. Peterson warned, "you're discussing classified information." "Yes, I am," Alex said, "because I'm tired of lies. We're supposed to be building a relationship between our species, but instead we're building elaborate deception operations." Kieran-Nine stepped forward. "My government instructed me to manipulate Dr. Rivera's emotions for strategic advantage. His government expected him to exploit our relationship for intelligence gathering. Both approaches treat us as tools rather than people capable of making our own choices." "What are you proposing?" asked the lead Viridian delegate, her skin a skeptical purple. "Actual honesty," Alex said. "Real cultural exchange based on truth instead of manipulation. Relationships built on trust instead of strategic advantage." "And if both our governments refuse?" Director Williams asked. Alex looked at Kieran-Nine, and she smiled. "Then we'll build those relationships ourselves, as individuals rather than representatives of our governments." "You're talking about defection," one of the intelligence officers said. "We're talking about choosing love over politics," Kieran-Nine replied, "choosing truth over deception, choosing each other over the people who would use us as weapons against each other." The room erupted in arguments, threats, and accusations, but Alex barely heard any of it. He was watching Kieran-Nine's face, seeing the courage there, the certainty, the love. "Whatever happens," he said quietly, "we did the right thing." "Yes," she said, her skin glowing brighter than he'd ever seen it. "We chose truth." 6 months later, Alex and Kieran-Nine stood in a small chapel on Earth, surrounded by friends from both species who had chosen to support their relationship. Despite the political complications, their wedding had become a symbol of hope for others who believed that love could bridge differences between worlds. The governments had eventually backed down, partly because public opinion favored the couple and partly because they're radical. Honesty had actually improved relations between the species. When people stopped trying to manipulate each other and started being truthful about their hopes and fears, real communication became possible. "Do you take this human to be your bonded partner?" and honesty and truth. For as long as you both shall live. The officiant asked. I do, Kieran said, her skin blazing like a star. I choose him, I choose us, and I choose truth. And do you take this Viridian to be your wife, promising to love her with the same honesty she has shown you? Alex looked at the woman who had taught him that love without truth was just pretty lies, and that truth without love was just cruelty. I do, he said. Always. As they kissed, Alex realized that loving someone who couldn't lie had taught him the most important lesson of his life. The truth might be complicated, difficult, and sometimes painful, but it was the only foundation strong enough to build a real relationship on. And sometimes, if you were brave enough to choose truth over safety, it could change the world.